Get a notification.
That's what I'm trying to see now. I don't know why my phone acts so slow. That's what I'm trying to see now.
I don't think he probably did.
It usually pop up right down.
Yeah.
Might have.
But you want to restart it.
Oh. You already saw it.
Oh no, I ain't restarted.
Still ain't getting that though.
Man, I ain't even got no I don't see no notification though.
But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see it now.
Oh, okay.
Which I popped up.
Yeah, I see it on there.
Claude Neal was the last spectacle lynching in the United States. Now, I know spectacle and lynching are words that really should not go together, but they did. What happened in 1934 was that Claude Neal was in a jail in Alabama. The lynch mob was incensed. They didn't want him going through the regular judicial system. Now, understand that the regular judicial system in Alabama for African Americans was not a kind and gentle force, but a lesson needed to be made of Claude. And that lesson was going to be one of the most horrific acts of violence on American soil. Part of what you had with spectacle lynching was that, I know we have these ideas in our head about a lynching where there are one guy, two guys, they sold tickets. This was advertised in the churches. Special trains were in fact reserved where you could get the special train ticket. It's almost like a cruise line kind of deal. It was a festival. It was an event. And yeah, I don't mean an event where it's advertised, announced in church on Sunday. So, we've got Minister so-and-so is going to be speaking here, and so-and-so is going to be having there. And oh, by the way, we're going to have a lynching down in Florida. You can get your special tickets in the back. They only cost so much, and it's going to, bring your kids, bring a picnic basket. It's going to be fabulous. Claude Neal gets yanked out of that jail in Alabama. He gets sent through a gauntlet of torture down into Florida, where the crowd that has bought their tickets and come in on their special trains and brought their picnic baskets are waiting for this incredible event. He is put up on a stand, stripped naked, and the crowd is going wild. He's being branded. I mean, you already see the blood. Because he's gone through this gauntlet of torture. And then they began to just start cutting off his body parts.
Faggot, man.
Part of the torture is they begin to cut off his genitalia. They cut off one piece, stuff it in his mouth, and force him to eat it. And the crowd is like, yeah! And they cut off some more of his genitalia, stuff that in his mouth, and eat it. So you can imagine this man is standing there before the throng, bleeding, forced to eat his own flesh. And there's no sense of humanity anywhere in the air. Then they start cutting off his fingers and throwing them to the crowd like a souvenir.
Nigga, man.
And the crowd is like, more, 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 more. And Claude is there bleeding to death, being branded with hot irons. And finally, after no more, it's strung up. This is the spectacle lynching of Claude Neal. That was horrific enough. But what, in fact, makes it beyond egregious is then the response of the law enforcement officials. The NAACP immediately sent folks down to investigate this lynching. They went to Alabama and they said, Alabama's, there's no crime committed here because he wasn't killed here. So they went to the officials in Florida. Florida said, he's not from here. No crime committed because he's not from here. Now, I didn't realize that anywhere in the statute dealing with murder, it said you had to be from that space in order for that to be a murder. But the NAACP thought, we now have on the books the Lindbergh kidnapping law, based on the kidnapping of Charles Lindbergh's baby, that therefore makes it a crime, a federal crime, to take somebody and transport them against their will across state lines. So the NAACP goes to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover says, no crime committed here because nobody asked for a ransom.
Fucking nigga, man.
That is what justice looked like for Claude Neal and so for so many African Americans during the Great Depression.
The preceding program.
Yeah, so Shalom with the Brothers of Great Millstone, the branch here in Birmingham, Alabama. As always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father, His only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit. Also, I'd like to give double honors to my teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there that's laboring in His work, continually pushing out this gospel in all true faith and sincerity. And I also want to say Shalom, as always, to you believers, the Hakim as well as the Aquas, which consists of the brothers and sisters that subscribe to this truth as well. So yeah, you just saw in the opening clip, as promised, we always mention the Claude Neal fiasco, right? Where these devils, they pretty much humiliated the brother by putting him up in front of an angry mob, and hacking off his limbs, hacking off his genitals, stuffing it in his mouth, forcing him to eat it. They branded him, they burnt him. A lot of these images, a lot of brothers use the image of, the Jake that's being burnt alive. That's actually Claude Neal, right? That's Claude Neal. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's from Alabama, right? He was from here, and pretty much what you just witnessed was hate, all right? Hate. But guess what? That's a beautiful thing. You know why? Because that same hate is pretty much an indictment on the so-called white man. That very hate that they show is what proves who you are. Because according to the scriptures, matter of fact, give me Deuteronomy 30:7 real quick. According to the scriptures, there will be a certain nation who the Lord is going to bring vengeance upon, the Lord is going to bestow those infamous curses. See, when you go into the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, them curses, that's a formula of the Lord right there. That's a beautiful piece of work. So the Lord, it's written that the Lord is going to bestow them same curses upon a certain people.
That's right.
And that certain people are going to have a certain characteristic. Let's get it out.
It's Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord, thy power, will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
See, upon thine enemies, go ahead.
And on them that hate thee.
And on them that what?
That hate thee.
That hate thee. So you can't get out of that frame right there of being the ones that hate the children of Israel, because we just showed you, and that's just one of many stories, man. There's plenty of stories, and not just with the so-called Negroes. Lord will take a more in-depth look into the natives, man. With the shit they did with the natives, all right? Wounded Knee, the Trail of Tears, and that's pretty much commercial right there. When you really go into, I forget what, when them devils, they pretty much, they're sending the men out, then they'll slaughter, they'll slaughter the damn women and children in the tent, man. But you fucking devils, you got a lot to pay for, man. But the point is, that hate that you shown against us, that's pretty much that glue that brings everything together, man. That's that work you got caught with. That's that pack that you got busted with, man. That's you possess with the very thing, you got a possession charge. And that charge is hate, man. That's the very thing that's going to indict you. See, you can no longer try to backpedal your way out of this because your own hate is a testament of who you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Obadiah verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
For thy violence against our brother Jacob.
Yeah, that violence against our brother Jacob, which seems like an understatement, man. But we just witnessed, man. You know, you got these devils who were so bloodthirsty, they promoted and packaged, you know, the lynching of this man. Which when you go into, for an example, Gator Bait, they would set up damn postcards. They have flyers, if you will. You know, like you might have a flyer, a certain concert coming to town, a wrestling match, you know, a fight.
Yep.
You know, you have the cards. You'd be like, okay, this date you're gonna have this. They actually did that for Gator Bait, man, for babies, man. And they'll set up a scenario with babies. There's pictures of this. They have a log, and they have babies from. You have different age ranges, maybe 3 or 4 years old, down to infants, man. And the babies that had somewhat of a conscious or a sense of understanding, they knew that they was in a fucked up position. They was trying to figure out how to get away from the alligators, man. And you damn devils was sitting there applauding that, man. See, you got people out there that come up against us. You know, you got the fucking nerve to say that we the hate mongers, man. You know, you guys pushing hate. You know, what you see here is a reaction, man. We reacting to what you devils did to us, man. But guess what? Some jumped out in that video. We're gonna get the precepts. That some jumped out in that video with the sister mentioned. She said, and this was the justice for Claude Neal. But I was thinking in my mind, no, the justice for Claude Neal is he gonna wreak havoc on you devils, man. And it's gonna be a long 1,000 years of us. We're gonna get it out of our system, man. And we're gonna know perfectly well who we fucking up. Okay? Excuse my language. Go ahead.
This is Obadiah verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Yes, shame shall cover thee. You know, that's why you got these devils, they're trying to somehow suppress and muzzle what happened in the past. Matter of fact, could you give me Psalms, I think it's Psalm 6 and 10.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a quick precept before you get that. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory.
Right, you're filled with shame for glory. Because you were somewhat possessed when you was committing these crimes and atrocities against our people, man. Which really was the fury of the Lord. But now you got to pay for that, man. That show you that Yahweh Shema Shine nothing to play with, man. You know, because the Lord has set out legislations and statutes in the form of justice. So by you committing those crimes in no wise, you're going to escape. And one of the brothers actually posted that, what's that, Nahum?
Yeah,
about the first chapter.
Yep.
Somebody can get that too. Matter of fact, go ahead and get that.
Right,
and go ahead and read this again.
It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
Right, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. And what you witnessed tonight in the form of that, the opening, the prelude to this lesson, was a form of the foreskin being uncovered, their shame. No, Esau want to get rid of that information, man. That's why you had that elite to say, man, the worst thing we ever did was created the internet, you know? But pursuant to, matter of fact, give me that real quick. Job 20 and 27. Go ahead, I'll give you what you got.
Yeah, that brother Saints Most High put that up.
Yeah, yep, cut it. Shalom, right?
This Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger.
Yep, the Lord is slow to anger, meaning the Lord is long suffering. Go ahead.
And in great power, and would not at all acquit the wicked.
So the Lord would not at all acquit the wicked, and that gives more credence to when we say that this setting, like this setting is that of a courtroom. This is a trial. The so-called white man is on trial. And guilty going to be sentencing, and you're going to in the punishment. Okay, which you're going to be locked up, just like a real case. Yep. You know, you're found guilty. Then what happens? They charge you. You found guilty. And they put you in chains, and you hauled off into prison. But that's going to happen to you. All right. Ultimately, you're going to be put in chains, and you're going to go into 1,000 years of captivity, man. See that? But the scriptures again said the Lord will in no wise acquit the wicked. Right. So yeah. Now let's go back to
that Psalms. Yeah, this book of Psalms, chapter 6 and 10. It said, let all my enemies be ashamed and
See,
sore
and let
vexed.
all my enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. And that's what you're witnessing right now. You know, these devils, they really ashamed of that past. You know, because it's a very dark time in history, man. You know, where you devils, you committed these crimes and atrocities. Oh, the video, did y'all see the video? I finally saw it today. Where you had all these Edomites down, and Jake was on the stage, and Jake, you know, getting all emotional. And you had Edomites all on all fours. As many Edomites as the eyes can see, it looked like for the arena right there, like 100 or 200 Edomites. And they was all bowing down. And you had the one Edomite, you know what I'm saying? Lord, please forgive us for what we did. Hey, man, that's the spirit of the Lord, man. You know, and that proves what we've been teaching is on par with the scriptures. You know, you can no longer view us as a bunch of disgruntled so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, looking to vicariously vent, you know, this hatred that we have for the so-called white man. And even if that was the case, we'll be justified because you devils, it's well documented what you did. And again, we might go back and play that again. You know, just to let that resonate and show you that hate, right? That these devils have for you. But guess what? There's a certain beauty that come along with that. Because if that would have never been on display, you know, the hatred that they have for us, then you would never really be able to put the dots together. So that hate that you had against us is a testament against you devils, man. Right? Go ahead,
That Psalm 6 and 10, it said, let all my enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return.
Let them return. Go ahead.
And be ashamed suddenly.
Now hold up. When the scripture said let them return and be ashamed suddenly, that's dealing with reincarnation. For all you guys out there that don't have the mental capacity to embrace the idea of reincarnation, you know, a lot of these pseudo groups out there, you know, they can't really get on a level, you know. Well, that right there proves reincarnation if you have eyes to see. Read it one more time.
God, it said, let all my enemies be ashamed.
Right, let all my enemies be ashamed. Go ahead.
And sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly.
And let them return and be ashamed suddenly. So what happened, I think it was in 1934 with Claude Neal. A lot of them old devils, they was put to death. I mean, they died. A lot of them died peacefully, man. You know, with their family around their bed. You know, they died in the comfort of their own home. So it was really no justice there to the naked eye. But guess what? And that's what the lady said. She said, what justice was there for Clark? Well, guess what? We got the answers, man. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, we have been comforted through the scriptures. And the fact that the Lord is going to recompense the works of you devils back to you, man. Really, twofold is going to be double. All right, go ahead, give me what you got.
They're going back, they're going to reincarnate to get their judgment. This is 2nd Esdras 14 and 35.
Yep.
For after death shall the judgment come.
Yeah, so after death, then the judgment come. No, you devils, you died again. You died peacefully. You know, with your house in order. You died. You had somewhat of a soft landing for your kids and their kids after that. You came back reincarnated. You know, but guess what? You came back to receive your judgment. A lot of these devils that you see walking around, these young fiery crackers. You know, guess what? They here at the scene of the crime. Because this is the place of judgment. This is the place where the Lord preserved for him to do one of his most beautiful pieces of work, man.
That's right.
You know, and that's the pour out his fury and wrath upon America, which is going to come in the form of a series of plagues, man. The Lord this place is going to be smitten with famine. All right, this place is going to be smitten with the wild beasts wreaking havoc on the inhabitants of the planet Earth. You know, that's right. You're going to be taken out of your comfort zone. And ultimately, let's just get to the point, man. The Lord is going to destroy this place in a thermonuclear holocaust. That's right. And it's going to be all an effort to bring judgment on you devils. Now you're going to have the other nations as well as Israelites that are going to get caught up in that. Why? Because they have joined themselves to this devil. Right? But the only ones that's going to be found worthy to escape that will be the elect. So go ahead, read this again.
It says, this is it's like it's 2nd Esdras 14 and 35. For after death shall the judgment come. Right. And we shall live again.
And we shall live again. That's reincarnation. Okay, go ahead.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest. And the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
And the works of the ungodly shall be declared. And that's the time we're in. Right now, the works of Esau, the so-called white man, is being declared, man. Right? So now, you got something?
Hey, Joel 20.
Oh, yeah, give me that.
It's the book of Joel 20 and 27. the heaven shall reveal his iniquity.
Right, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity. And that's dealing with us. We really those heavens, but it's being manifested through the heavens. And that's concerning the internet. All right, if you have ears to hear. Because you have satellite. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's prove that. Psalm 19. Yep. Psalm 19. Read this again.
It says, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity.
See, the heavens is revealing his iniquity. Again, that's symbolic to the internet. All right, the Lord set up these different satellites. We'll do a video, we'll upload it, even in the form of this live stream. The signal will hit these satellites, and it'll, bounce to all these different, what would you call them? IP, different addresses. Then you're able to view it. And what's happening here is we are talking about, the upcoming NBA season. Or you recording your baby's first. We ain't recording our baby's first steps. A damn guy falling down a flight of stairs. We were revealing the iniquity, the works of the so-called white man. All right. Matter of fact, read that one more time, and we're gonna go over here.
This is the book of Job 20 and 27. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity.
Right, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity. Go ahead.
And the earth shall rise up against him.
Now, give me what you got.
God, it's Psalm 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High.
See, the heavens declare the glory of the Most High. And this, how the Lord set the stage, right? Because you was wondering how this work would be accomplished. When the Lord spoke, and the Lord said this word, when you read Matthew the 24th chapter, the Lord said, this gospel shall be preached into all the world, and the end shall come. Those who was in that hearing, those who was in that gathering, they didn't really grasp what that was talking about. Because in the ancient world, in order for that feat to be accomplished, you had to have a caravan, you had to travel. Man, that could never be accomplished. They didn't know. They didn't know about this, man. We do a video, we press one button, and there's brothers all over the place listening, man. See how bad your how about some outside is, man? See that? Go ahead, I'll give me what you got.
It's Habakkuk 2 and 14.
Yep.
For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord.
Right, and that's what you're witnessing right now. The earth is being filled with the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? Go ahead.
It says, as the waters cover the sea.
As the waters cover the sea. Now give me Isaiah 43 and start at 19. Because the water symbolizes this word. Our Lord Yahushua mentioned that in concerning this very topic in the book of St. John, the 7th chapter, around the 38th verse. He that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living waters, man. Okay? So go ahead.
God, this is Isaiah 43 and 19.
And those living waters, that can actually translate to live streams.
Is it?
Living waters, live streams. Right? Go ahead.
God, this Isaiah 43 and 19. Behold, I will do a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now shall it spring forth.
Yep, go ahead.
Shall ye not know it?
Uh-huh.
I will even make a way in the wilderness
Uh-huh.
and rivers in the desert.
Right, so the Lord says he's going to make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Right? Go ahead.
It says, the beasts of the field shall honor me.
Right, the beasts of the field shall honor me, and that's dealing with really the elect. Okay? Go ahead.
The dragons and the owls.
The dragons and the owls, which is also symbolic to the elect. When you go into a dragon is interchangeable with the serpent. Now, serpent is not always presented in a bad light. The serpent represents wisdom. That's why Lord Yahushua made the statement, be ye wise as serpents. So the Lord say, the serpents and the owls. Now, the owls is symbolic to the elect as well. Why? Because the owl possessed the quality of sin in the night. And that's what we have through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We have eyes to see amidst the night. And the night is symbolic to America. Go ahead,
It says, because I give waters in the wilderness.
See, because I give waters in the wilderness, these live streams. Hey, you brothers out there, you don't care. You brothers and sisters, you true, sincere believers out there, you don't care how we look in the image and the garments. Yeah. And do we have a school? Or, or, you marching. You know what I mean? Your desire is to be quenched with this water, man. All right? Go ahead. And that's what the scripture said. Here in this parched ground, which really Israel we was a desert. We was made a wilderness. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. I think it's Isaiah 64. Isaiah 64 and 10.
Isaiah 64 and 10. Thy holy cities are a wilderness.
See, thy holy cities are a wilderness. Go ahead.
Zion is a wilderness. Jerusalem a desolation.
See that? So the scripture said the Lord was going to spring forth waters in the wilderness. That's concerning us. That's why the scriptures say that we are dry bones. So now here it is. We was reduced to a wilderness, from a vineyard to a wilderness. And now the Lord have worked the work, man. The Lord gave you what you need. Like that Twilight Zone we always mention. That's a bad Twilight Zone where the guy give you what you need. You know, dude said, man, give me what I need to do. Had him some scissors. And he was like, what the fuck I need with these scissors? But he went in the elevator and his tie got caught up, you know? In the elevator, he was looking for a way out. He went in the bike and saw the scissors. You know what I mean? That's the thing with your how about Shimmy shot. The Lord give you what you need, man. You might think you want, you know, yeah, you faced with challenges in this world. Who cares? That's the conditions of the battle. You might think you need this thing. The Lord gave you this word, man. Do you know this word is what keeps us trucking, man? You know? The mere fact that we know that the so-called white man have a date. I did a lesson on it earlier too. Taking the spirit on me heavy about that. Because you know you catch hell, but then you know what, man? This shit'll be over in a minute. Because the Lord is written in infinite, man. That's mercy right there. See that? So the Lord have given us what we need. This word is compared to waters because waters is a relief. Okay, you got something?
Yeah, come.
I'm gonna go back over there.
This is the book of Isaiah 44:3. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty.
Right, and that's dealing with all of us, man. We was thirsty for the truth, man. That's why you satisfied. That's why this word satisfy you, man. I know it do because it satisfied me. See, go ahead, huh?
It says, and floods upon the dry ground.
Yeah, and this word is overwhelming, man. We flooding the internet with this knowledge, man. You'll be hard pressed to find anyone who don't at least know about an Israelite group. You know, because we don't just, you know, getting on Israelite groups. You know, you're doing a mighty work as well, as long as you're telling the brothers and sisters out there that they're Israelites. But if you somehow found this stone, if you found your way to Great Millstone, then you really have, you know, you found that rock, man. All right? Go ahead, huh?
It says, I will pour my spirit upon thy seed.
Whoa, I will pour my spirit upon thy seed. And that's bad right there. That one little cluster of words says a whole lot, man. Right? The Lord says he's going to pour out his spirit. Right? Give me that in Proverbs. He's going to pour out his spirit upon thy seed. You are your seed. You are your forefathers. Right? You was here before, and the Lord promised you that he would relieve you in the time needed. See, this is the time when you need relief. You know? As when you came back as your seed. So the Lord said, this is when he's going to pour out this word. Right? In its full capacity. See? Go ahead.
It says, I will pour my spirit upon thy seed and my blessing upon thine offspring.
And you are your offspring. Right? So the Lord made good. The Lord held up his end of the bargain, man. Go ahead.
God, this is Proverbs 1:23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you.
Yeah, the Lord says he's going to pour out his spirit unto you. Go ahead.
I will make known my words unto you.
I will make known my words unto you, man. And that's dealing with the men here at Great Millstone, because you think it's a coincidence, you know, over here, we go into words. That's a part of our custom here through the spirit. We go into words. We don't just read a scripture and leave it up to you. We break it down through the spirit. Matter of fact, I think that's Jeremiah. Is that Jeremiah 5? What's I'll get me into the great man.
Oh yeah, I think that is. Let me see.
Yeah, see if that's that. Got a piece up?
No.
Let's see.
I think it's Jeremiah 5, I'm not mistaken. But I found it.
Yep, Yeah, this is Jeremiah 5:5. It says, I will get unto me the
matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might want to jump up. Because the Lord said, I will pour out my words unto you, and I will make known my words unto you. How is the Lord accomplishing that feat? Through his men, right? Give me Jeremiah 3:15 while he's getting that.
Okay.
Jeremiah 3:15. The Lord will, y'all already know if you know what I mean, familiar with these sittings through the Spirit. We're going to get around to the lesson, but this is the Spirit of the Lord got this coming out, you know? All right, go ahead.
This book of Jeremiah 3, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I give you pastors according to mine heart.
Yeah, the Lord said he's going to give you pastors according to his heart, right? Go ahead.
Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding.
Which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, which that complements what we just read in Proverbs, the first chapter, where the Lord said, he will pour out his spirit and make known his words unto you. Lord, bad. The Lord used somebody else to meticulously break it down to you, man. That's why the scripture said the Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And at that point, what's going to happen? The prophet is going to prophesy to you. All right? So now, go ahead.
Cut in Jeremiah 5. I'm going to start at 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "O Lord, art not thine eyes open? It's like, are not thine eyes upon the truth?"
Yeah, woo! The Lord's eyes is upon the truth, man. All right? And that's bad right there. That's foresight. It's not the prophecy.
See?
See what I'm saying? Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, "Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved.
Mm-hmm.
Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive."
Now that's heavy because this somewhat ties into what we're going into tonight. Claudia was stricken. All right, all our forefathers, they were stricken. And they didn't really see no end in sight, man. They thought that this would be a perpetual, the Lord whooped your ass so bad through Esau that you thought that this would be a perpetual thing. But yet, you Jakes out there, you know about, and I'm talking about just the casual Israelite and just the 2/3 as well, right? Not the sincere, But for the most part, these Jakes, they saw roots.
Mm-hmm.
They know about a Django or 12 Years a Slave. Yeah. They read, they did history reports. They know about Black History Month when, you are reminded of how you pretty much have been beat down. That's another thing. Esau, in the form of Black History Month, it's just a reminder to show you we kick your ass, whoop your ass, man. You know what I mean? It's like celebrate me kick. That's show you Esau, man, like Thanksgiving. So that's the devil. This twisted devil is real true.
That's it. It's like this nigga highlights, man. When you watch like a quarterback or a damn basketball player, they ain't like you see them in a practice jam. They doing the moves to somebody, man.
Yeah.
So this nigga,
that
was his highlights.
Yeah, that's his highlights.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's like if you ever come down here to this city, right? Down there, Brother Dawud, he be teaching down there.
Yeah.
Well, if you go down there to that park, you see it's a monument showing how they kick your ass. They got this cop, it's supposed to be dedicated to the civil rights where they sprayed the hoses in the dog. They got this cop look like Terminator. Like, you saw that one? You got the shade. Real tough, man. We're going to probably go down there and do a lesson on it, man. They got this cop, right? He's like a hero, and he choking damn Jake. Living at Jake, Like I said, that's the highlights. These devils is really basking in the glory of taking you down, like Thanksgiving. These devils so shrewd, but they got you to come together and celebrate them kicking your ass, man. Go ahead,
this Isaiah 5:3. "O Lord, art not thine eyes upon the truth?
Yep.
Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved."
Right. So our people have been stricken, and they well aware that they've been stricken, but they ain't grieved. We grieved. Go ahead.
It says, "Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction."
Yeah. We the Lord, and this is the apex of that. The Lord got his prophets out here, and we telling you that, unless you return to Yahweh Shem Shai, you're going to be destroyed. We telling you straight up and down, right? So the Lord have consumed you, yet you have not, you ain't acknowledging that you went off, which that's the first steps, if you will, on this road to recovery. And that's spoken of in the book of, what's that, Matthew 11 chapter? The prodigal son.
Yeah.
And other scriptures as well, that you have to, what's that, Hosea? 5:15, you have to acknowledge your offense. Jake ain't willing to do that. All right, go ahead.
It says, "They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return."
Yep, they have refused to return. See? Go ahead.
Therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish.
Hold up. The Lord says, surely these are poor. What does it mean when it says these are poor? Because you got guys like LeBron James, for example. He's not poor technically, but he's poor when it comes to this word. This word is the richest. All you brothers and sisters out there that subscribe to this truth, man, you rich, man. Matter of fact, give me that in Revelation. The Lord gave you, the Lord gave you a pep talk, and give me Romans 11:33. You know, you got these jakes out there that have this world's goods, you know, but guess what? They really poor. Versus you believers out there who have been exposed and called into this marvelous life, man. This is the true riches. There's nothing that you could trade to. Man, I'm telling you, not speaking on my own behalf, there's nothing out there, man, that compare. All right? It shouldn't even be said. It's nothing out there that compare to the Lord giving us this understanding, man. See that? Go ahead.
Yeah, quick precept. Going back, you said this is Revelation 3:17. Because thou sayest, I am rich and increase with goods and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched and miserable and poor and blind and naked.
Woo! And that's dealing with our people, man. Because if you ever dealt, and I know especially brothers can attest who out there go out there in the streets and you deal hand to hand. You come across one of the old jakes or some nigga in a Cadillac with a retirement plan, you can see it on their face. They be like, at the end of the day, I got a bank account. That's their mentality, you know? That's their consolation. But how should I say? You say that you are rich and you have no need or nothing, but in reality, you poor and you blind. Why? Because you don't even know who the hell you are, man. You don't know who your enemies are. You don't know why you're in the position you're in. That's golden when you understand those things. And especially when you know that the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to relieve us of this pressure, man. See that?
That's it.
So yeah, go ahead and give me the other one.
All right, God, this is Revelation 2:9. I know thy works in tribulations and poverty, but thou art rich.
See, but we are rich, man. And what makes us rich? Because we have this truth.
That's right.
All right, now give me what you got.
This book on Romans 10.
11 and 33.
It's like this Romans 11 verse 33. So like it says, oh, the depth of riches.
Oh, the brother got another video client. Oh, the water, brother. We'll check it out. Oh, so it's already on the. Oh, it would be already in the. Oh, that's the link right there.
Yeah, that's the link right there.
So we can always go back and check it out, can't we?
Yeah.
The water. Yep. Go ahead.
It says, oh, the depth of riches, both of wisdom and knowledge of the Most High. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out.
So it's the scripture said, oh, the depth of the riches and knowledge of the Most High. And his judgments past finding out, man. See, it was based solely upon the Lord's mercy that we are able to embrace. This is heavy information, man. And if the Lord wasn't dealing with you, you'll fall apart. We know that firsthand. There's guys that come into this and they'll bug out. You remember the infamous video of the guy, he was laying across the bed. And he like a sucker, man, laying across the bed, and he was venting, man. I lost it all for this truth, man. You know, I regret that I came into the truth. I was in college. Nigga was at hers and some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
ITT Tech.
Yeah, ITT Tech. You know? And he was like, man, I lost it all, this truth. You know, I've wasted all my time. That's because this truth is really, this is like a burden, man. And the Lord have to deal with you to keep you, you know, to keep you in this thing, man. You know, the Apostle Ha made a heavy statement about this truth, like a mustard seed. And when you go into mustard, they tell the one about the mustard seed is poison as well. So you gotta, the Lord gotta be with you to deal with this. This truth is like a poison berry, man. You know, real talk. And if the Lord ain't with you, you'll deal with this and you'll fall apart, man. You know, straight up.
Right,
you have to digest this truth, man. It's bitter, man. It's like, because when, for an example, you find out that your favorite cousin got put to death because of the judgment of the Lord, you'll become offended in that, man. You're not going to continue in that, you know? See? So now let's go back.
God, this back Jeremiah 5:4. He said, therefore I said, surely these are poor.
Right, so Jake is poor, man. Meaning they don't understand. They don't have the goods. Right? Go ahead.
They are foolish.
They are foolish. See, that show you right there.
That's the poor, right?
That's the poor. This is what makes you poor.
Yep.
You know? Hey, look, the Lord is not flattered by your damn Maserati or whatever, you know. Come on, man. We have been given this understanding, which can be rivaled with any other resource out there that might be perceived as of somewhat value. Give a damn if it's your livestock, your gold, your silver, your land, right? Your oil. It pales in comparison to what we possess. See that? Go ahead. Oh, Slaki, you got something?
Yeah, go ahead. This is the book Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 12. It says, for wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
Yeah.
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Come on, because gold and silver can't buy you life. What we have assures life. And everybody wants life. Even when you attempt to get the resources of the planet Earth, it's all an attempt to live. There you hustling for it and getting gold. It's all really all an effort to live. But guess what? We have skipped all those steps and got life. These words is life. There's plenty of scriptures to support that. All right, go ahead.
It says, for they know not the way of the Lord. How about Shema Shai?
Yeah, that's what makes you poor. You don't know the weight of your how about Shema Shai. Go ahead.
Nor the judgment of their power.
Nor the judgment of their power. They think that Esau just doing what they're going to do, and by you digesting Christianity, I forgive and I forget. No, that's a offense right there, man. The Lord say, what the Proverbs 11 chapter, unbalanced.
Yeah, it's an abomination. Yeah.
Which, if there's no justice, then that's off. So that's why the scripture saying, neither they know the way of judgment. Read that again.
It says, for they know not the way of the Lord, nor the judgment of their power.
Nor the judgment of their power. Continue.
I will get unto the like it. I will get unto me the great men.
So the Lord said, I will get unto me the great men. You think that's a coincidence? The Lord said he's going to get. That show you that there's a certain set of spirits out here that the Lord is dealing with, man. Spirit of the Lord only rested on a certain body. And that's spoken of in Ephesians, the 4th chapter, where scriptures outline that there's one body, there's one spirit, there's one hope. So that one spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai has rested upon his men, man. That's right. Hey, when Yahweh Shai came on the scene, he didn't get with the Sanhedrin, man, or the Pharisees, the doctors of the law, and the Sadducees, all under the banner that they was Israelites. No, he rounded up 12 men, and those men were sent forth to bring in other men that was like-minded. And that legacy continues to this very day, man. See? Go ahead.
I will get unto me the great men and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord.
And we know the way of the Lord through him. Go ahead.
And the judgments of their power.
And the judgment of our power. That's why we comfort it. And that's why we are able to sit here tonight amongst you and bring forth the overtone of this lesson and entitle it The Beauty of Hate. That's a stumbling block in itself. Some Pastor E.O. Jackson, nigga, see this, he'll lose it. Man, I saw some guys with Bibles.
I got my next sermon. Nigga, man.
See? But hate is a beautiful thing because on the behalf of the fucking devils, that is a testament against you, man. So I don't give a damn what you might say, right? What you might do, how you might try to frame or set the narrative in your history books or your curriculum, your rhetoric, right? We understand that your works and your act of hate proves who you are, right? You got something? Give me Genesis, the 27th chapter. Then we're gonna go ahead and get into this.
All right, Con. So this Genesis 27 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with his father.
Hold up. See that, man? Read that again.
He's saying Esau hated Jacob.
See, if Esau hated Jacob, now the scriptures is it narrates, man. This is a powerful book right here, man. What we just saw with Claude Neal, right, is what the scripture is saying. See what I'm saying? Yep. Because this is the time where it was revealed. It's all kind of shit that happened. But do you have a reporter? Back then, like in the 50s or whatever, did you have somebody to send a link or you get an alert? Was it revealed to you? No. You was running for your damn life And if you did know about it, you couldn't say shit. It was we're in a time now when it's being revealed. Matter of fact, give me Luke the 8th chapter. That show you that scripture is for now, man. That hatred is on display now, man. And it's a beautiful thing. Why? Because that same hatred is an indictment against you, man. See, these devils is in a quagmire, man. You know, that was a time where they could say, you know, I love you, brother. And you're like, man, so man, fuck that, man. Matter of fact, give me that too. It's all of them, none of them. Go ahead.
This St. Luke 8:17.
Hey, like you had the guy come over to the camp, he got on one knee.
Oh yeah.
We cursed that nigga out, man. Go ahead, huh?
God, St. Luke 8:17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest.
See that? Nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, man. So we're in a time now where the Lord have thrust your works in the public's eye, man. And we broadcasting it. We shit, matter of fact, continue.
God, it said, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad.
And see that? And how is it coming abroad? By way of the internet, man. Right? Give me Ephesians the 5th chapter 2. Huh? Go ahead.
This book on Psalms 14 and verse 3. They are all going aside.
All of you Edomites are going aside. Go ahead.
They are all together become filthy.
Mm-hmm.
There is none that doeth good, no, not one.
No, not one, man. See that? Yep, so you can get what you got.
God, this is Ephesians 5:11. It said, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
Mm-hmm. And that dark symbolizes, the information. And it also proved that these devils is more comfortable with tiptoeing, in secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
By default, by us bringing up, and that's another thing. They trying to demonize us, right? Come up with ways to, round us up and present us as being terrorists. But we already out there. You know what I mean? The Lord got you, man. It's not like we secretly coming up and concocting elaborate schemes and plans. We telling you straight up in your face what this is about. This is the kingdom of heaven being established, man. And our Lord, Yahweh Shai, is going to lead the charge, right? He's paused the spring into action at any moment now. The Lord, see, it's going to be a process. At any moment now, the Lord is going to flick over that domino, man. And Esau know that his time. See, Esau know they on that clock. Go ahead.
God, Ephesians 5:11, it said, it had no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Yeah, but reprove them. And that's what you're witnessing right now. Go ahead.
For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
Right. And hey, we know the obvious, the Bohemian Groves, they pop each other, chase each other around in the woods naked, all kind of crazy shit. But also what we just mentioned with Claude Neal. It's a shame to speak of the shit that these devils did to us, man. Right? But continue.
It said, but all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light.
So yeah, this is the time when we read Genesis, the 27th chapter, where he hated his brother. This is the time where that hate is being manifested, it's being exposed. Right? Go ahead.
For whatsoever doth make manifest is light.
And that's dealing with this truth. So they prove that we got the truth because we opened up the video with the prelude to this lesson exposing Esau. So that's proof we must have the light. Go ahead. That was it. Yes, we go back and we use that Genesis.
Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob.
See, and Esau hated Jacob. And that's being manifest right now. Before the Lord sent forth the apostles and elders, you had people reading Genesis back and forth, man. They had no clue what that was going into. So that proved that this is the time where that makes sense, man. Go ahead, huh?
It said Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
See that? So you see the overtone of this man's thinking, his rationale is hate. You see words as hate and slay being thrown around. That's why we know that that's this devil, man. See that? Right? So now give me what you got.
It's the book on Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Yeah, read that again.
It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Right, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Right? Now, real quick, look up that word perpetual right there.
Okay,
scriptures say thou hast had a perpetual hatred, because you can hate something, you know, you can hate something that somebody do. You can have a brother that have a certain thing that he do that you hate, you know, but it's levels to hate.
Mm-hmm.
You have a perpetual hatred, as the scriptures coined it. And this is how we know, you know what? That's the so-called white man. Because if your ass can cut off the fingers of a man and throw him out into the crowd, and you can cheer that on, man, that's a hate that's not bound by the earth. That's a spiritual hatred. See, that was Jake don't understand. You can't rehabilitate this hate with the so-called white man. This is a hate that was designed and fashioned in the heavens, man. There was a hate that was created with prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's nothing you can do about that. You can develop a hate for somebody like, man, this dude here, man, if you crunch on this tip one more time, you know, well, you can hate certain things, right? Yeah. But this hatred right here, this was fashioned by the Most High.
Yep,
man.
that's it.
This is above your comprehension, right? You got one of the points there, you got it up.
To add on Nick, what happened? Whoever got done like that? The Moabites didn't get done like that. The Ishmaelites, it's only Jake have been getting harmed, man. Jake is famous for getting harmed, getting fucked up, man. You know? Is it?
Yeah. Raping and ravishing women. Hey, the gator bait thing, man. Mm-hmm. That's hatred, man. Because a baby, even I don't know if y'all know this, but like an otter, you know, like a sea otter. You know, you ever notice like them sea otters, they have their baby on their chest. Did you know that they do that to keep the prey away? They'll even hold up their baby. Like an otter will hold up their baby, like if an alligator comes, and so the alligator have compassion on them, man. So that show you even around amongst the wild in certain cases, you know, a baby, you be like, okay, hold on, right? But Esau, they would take your baby, man, and put him in a damn chicken coop, right? And they'll throw him out there, and overnight, the baby crying, sighing overnight. Then in the morning, they'll feed them to alligators, man. And get what these same damn Edomites that enrolled in Stanford University or some shit, them the same devils that did that, man. That's why you notice, if you see all these racial rants, you know, these college students and shit, man, proving that they was the same spirits that reincarnated. But the Lord brought your ass back to bring that judgment on you. All right, go ahead.
So this that word perpetual, Strong's 85769, our long, and it says long duration, antiquity.
Yeah, it says long duration, man. See that? So that hatred that the so-called white man has is a long duration, meaning there's nothing you can do to quell that or curb that hatred. Yeah, candlelight visuals or some shit. Man, this devil still gonna hate you, man. Go ahead, and give me, I think that's Jeremiah.
It says
13.
long duration, antiquity, perennially, forever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient.
Old and ancient. That also proves that you the so-called you so-called white people are the Edomites. See? Because the scripture says this hatred is old. That's that old serpent. That's the hatred that goes all the way back to the womb. See? Hold that and give me what you got.
This book of Jeremiah 13 in verse 20, you said 23. It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots?
Right. So can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Go ahead.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
So the so-called white man cannot be rehabilitated. So-called white man can't do good when he's accustomed to doing evil, man. It's woven in his DNA, man. It's a part of his makeup. The Lord designed him to be the arch enemies of the children of Israel. And that's outlined in the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Go ahead,
Quick research. This is Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider the work of the Most High.
Yeah, consider the work of the Most High. That's bad right there. Consider the work of the Most High. Because this is how you, this is how, this is how you get to know your power from his works, right? For an example, you might have somebody who have bought into this idea, this age-old idea of the Lord is all love. Well, hold up. When you consider the works of the Lord, when you see, like, for an example, in the Serengeti in Africa, there's a certain time where you have animals that have to cross the Nile River. And the Lord have alligators waiting on them, man. And it's a feeding frenzy. Who orchestrated that? It was Yahweh Shemel Shai. So right there, you should say, you know what? Nah, this power ain't all about just love and, gentleness and kindness. That's what the scripture is saying. Consider the works of the Lord, man. See? Go ahead.
It said, consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he have made crooked?
Right. So who can make that straight which the Most High made crooked? Now go give me it's the Ecclesiasticus 14, 33.
33 and yeah, I got that on there. Yep. Kind. Yeah, this is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 33 and 14. Good is set against evil.
See, good is set against evil. Go ahead.
And life against death.
And life against death. And that's explainable. We don't have to really go into that. Good is set against evil, right? Life against death.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So is the godly against the sinner.
Right, and that's why they hung Claude Neal. And before they did it, they cut his genitals off and stuffed it in his mouth. Because evil is set against good and vice versa. Go ahead.
He said, so is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High.
See, so look upon all the works of the Most High, man. See, go ahead.
And there are two and two, one against another.
So everything is set up against one another, man. All the works of the Most High. Straight up. You can sit down, you can stand up, you can spit, you can swallow. You can open your hand, you can close your hand. That's a fight. You go to sleep, you wake up. You know that's a fight? The sun set and the sun rise. That's a fight. When the sun set, that means the night has overcome. Then all of a sudden the sun rises and the day has overcome. That's a fight, man. Let's show you that that's why the scripture said the Lord is a man of war, man. Right? So yeah, you got something?
Yeah, come.
Go ahead.
This book of Amos 1, verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
Yeah, so the Lord is dead set against Edom. And you know what? That's comfort. Mm-hmm. That's comfort. Because we know that in this state that we're in, there's no way. Hey, this is an old saying, a wise man knows his limitations. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And the scriptures encourage it. The scripture said, don't strive against a man mightier than you. You got a bunch of niggas with old AK-47s talking about coming up against Esau, man. You know? But guess what? We understand that the Lord is going to take it's going to take divine intervention. We need Yahweh Shai, man. Right? So when you read this scripture right here, this is comfort because we know that the Lord himself said, I'm going to get him. The Lord is poised to get these devils, man. Right? Go ahead, read that again.
It says, thus saith the Lord, like it said, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof.
So the Lord himself ready to get him. Yeah, go ahead.
It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Right, he pursued his brother with the sword. And that pursuit just wasn't an hour. You know, you can read the scripture, you think that that's talking about Esau pursued a bunch of jakes running through the woods for an hour. That pursuit goes all the way back to the beginning. They've been pursuing us, and they finally really got us on the interiors of Western Africa. After we was chased out of, Masada, and it was spurts, different skirmishes. You go into Antiochus, when they stormed on Israel. Mm-hmm. Yep. But where they ultimately got us, right, is when we went into Western Africa, where they rounded us up. Thus, the prophecies kicked in. Yep. That Moses spoke against us, Deuteronomy 28 chapter. So they was pursuing us all that time, and they finally got their hands on us. Go ahead, Doc.
It says, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear.
Yeah, they did cast off all pity, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Yeah, and he kept his wrath forever, and that's beautiful, because that links up to that definition for perpetual hatred. Yeah, this devil gonna always hate you, man. Mm-hmm. That's why you think we're gonna get him in the kingdom. See, the Lord gave us the understanding now. Yeah. We'll be crazy as hell. We get in the kingdom and say, hey man, bring this Edomite in on his on this project. No, man, we gonna beat the shit out you, man. And after 1,000 years, there's gonna be a long 1,000 years. We're gonna burn your ass up. And that's gonna be an emotional, that's gonna be a beautiful moment right there. You know, like these devils at 4th of July, man, that's gonna be, we're gonna hear them devils screaming, we're gonna burn their ass up, you know?
Yep.
That's gonna be a beautiful day right there, man.
It's gonna smell. It might have a sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna have a sweet savor.
Oh,
I believe that in the spirit too. That's right. There's gonna be a sweet savor. You know, there's gonna be a formula, like the perfect incense. You mix Edomites and fire.
Yeah.
You get this. There's gonna be a sweet savor, man. I believe that in the spirit. When they get charred, there's gonna be a sweet moment.
Yeah, kind.
You know.
I got quit precept.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, this Psalm 119 and 7-8. It said, "Let the proud be ashamed, for they dealt perversely with me without a cause, but I will meditate in thy precepts."
Yeah, because really when you go into Genesis the 27th chapter, right, they their hatred was really brewed up, you know, it was stirred up. But it was really without a cause, because they the ones who gave up the birthright. That nigga gave up the birthright, man. So it's really without a cause. You know, without understanding, you'll think like, we know this devil kind of had a reason why, you know, but really in reality, he didn't have a cause, because he if he had integrity, he would have held fast to that promise. So you this devil, man.
Like he was just gonna get the you know
the lentils.
The lentils, and then I'm gonna kill Jacob. He just don't know it, but I'm gonna kill him anyway.
You see what I'm saying?
Nigga,
that's
man.
a nigga. That's Esau for you, man. See that?
Same plan he tried to do with Cain.
Yeah.
He just killed him.
Yeah. That's the way he rationalized things out. If all else failed, just kill him, man. Fucking devil. And that's what they're going to try to apply against us. But this time, the Lord going to step in on our behalf, man. See that? Yeah, man. Man, we long for the day we can get our hands on you, devil. And they watching us. That's why when you read Wisdom of Solomon, they say, let us test them and see. You know, hey, we know what you want to do before you even do it. Right? So, come on, man. The Lord got you, man. Yep, you got something?
Yeah, kind of. It's the book of Psalms 35:15. But in my adversities, they rejoice and gather themselves together. Yeah, the abjects gathered themselves together against me.
Yeah, Esau, they rejoiced in the fall, even to this very day. The scriptures is alive and well. This is a living document. You know, you can't really just reserve that to a certain time period. That can apply to this very day. These devils rejoice in your fall, man. They talk shit about you. Jake is naive as all hell. They think that Esau sitting at their dinner table talking about Martin Luther King or some shit. No, they sitting at their dinner table talking about Andrew Jackson, man. And how we had them niggas, you know. That's their thing, man. Go ahead, huh?
It says, yeah, the abjects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and cease not.
Yeah, because that's how them devils work. That's why the scripture says, I knew it not, because this devil's a cunning hunter. It's like the deers, and the beast of the field. When this devil hunted, which we was watching that Saturday, them devils was hunting warthogs and shit.
Man.
That shit was sickening, man. They were hunting fish, they were sticking the knife in them.
Yeah,
man. But that's what the scripture said. They was after my hurt, but I knew it not, because these devils, they are crafty. They're sitting and set a snare for you. And that's what they're doing right now. They're looking to wage war against us, man. See, the lust of the so-called white man is to have you in their clutches again. See that? So you got more?
Yeah, I'm jumping down to verse 26. It says, let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice at my hurt. Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me.
Read it again.
It says, let them be ashamed and brought to confusion together that rejoice in mine hurt.
So the Lord honored what is that a Psalm of David? So the Lord honored that, right? And we witnessing it now. The Lord is letting them be ashamed and they're being confounded, right? Go ahead.
It says, let them be clothed with shame and dishonor that magnify themselves against me.
Yep. And that applies to Esau, man. Go ahead.
It says, let them shout for joy and be glad that favor for my righteous cause. Yeah, let them say, continue, let the Lord be magnified, which have pleasure in the prosperity of his servant.
Yep, and that's dealing with us. That's the two extremes. On the one hand, Esau is going to be shamed and abased, and on the flip side, we're gonna be exalted. We're gonna glory in the fact, in which we glory in right now, in the fact that the Lord showed His mercy unto us, man, by giving us, this information, right? So yeah, go ahead. You got something?
Yeah, Con. Yeah, this is Psalm 55, and I started 22. It said, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and He shall sustain thee.
Mm-hmm.
He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved, but thou, O Most High, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction."
Read that again.
Con, it says, "But thou, O Most High."
Read it.
Oh, Con, it's like it. This is Psalm 55:22. "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and He shall sustain thee."
Yeah, and that's what we have done.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord is sustaining us, and it's through His word. Which, when you read a couple of scriptures, Psalms 23, Isaiah 33, it tells you how this word is a staff. The staff is a stabilizer. So that's how we've been sustained through this word. Go ahead.
"He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved,
Mm-hmm.
but thou, O Most High, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction,
Mm-hmm.
bloody and deceitful men."
Yeah, bloody and deceitful men. Who else do that apply to, man? That apply to the so-called white man. I mean, straight up, when you put everything together, you examine it like Abu, man.
Oh yeah.
Abu came to the conclusion that, man, this man has to be done away with, right? He's a bloody and deceitful man. Who else that's talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you want, man? The Lord have comforted us, man.
That's right.
The Lord have finally stepped in on our behalf, man. And Esau know it. Esau understand. And it say, I forget where it's at in the Apocrypha. It say, I forget what guy that was, where it say, if this people follow the Lord, then He will be with them.
Oh yeah, I know what that is.
You know what that is? Get that real quick.
Yeah, this is it's a lot.
And Esau understand that. Scriptures tell you he's wise as Daniel. This man, he search out all things. So this man understands perfectly well that the day that we wake up to who we are and we begin once more to acknowledge, and that's spoken of in it's that 1 Kings 8,
Yep.
the 8th chapter,
Yep.
with King Solomon. Oh, King Solomon, the one who said if they was to, turn to the east and acknowledge their power, then have mercy on them. So guess what the Lord hearkened to what King Solomon said. That proved that that's Yahweh shot. Right, that's just a nugget right there. And Lord will, we're gonna go into that. That 1 Kings 8th chapter. No, not tonight, but through the Spirit. That's heavy. Because in a roundabout way, that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening right now in this lifetime. So you got that?
Yeah, Kai. This is Judah, the 5th chapter, and I'm gonna start at I started 18. It says, "But when they departed from the way which He had appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that they were not theirs."
Yeah, and that's dealing with Israel. Whenever we departed from the statutes of the Lord allowed us to be overtaken, overthrown in different battles.
Yep.
We had to suffer different captivities, right? Go ahead.
"And the temple of their power was cast to the ground, and their cities was taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their power."
See, but now, that shows that this word is alive and well. That's talking about now, man. That's talking about now. Even though we know it's documented, it's so. See, the Lord's so bad. The Lord ain't got to go back and say, "Let me tweak something." Everything was written to cover everything. So this scripture, what we read right now, is covering what we're going through right now. Read it again.
I can say them too.
Oh, you got it.
That's why I said, to this day.
To this day.
Yeah.
And that's talking, a lot of times we'll say, to this day, what's the date? But it's even bigger than that.
Yeah.
If you bring it out again next week,
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This word is alive and well, man. It's an entity, man. It's a power to be reckoned with.
Right.
Esau understand that. And Esau marveled at us. The fact that we able to go into this, man. Because what Esau did, he set up schooling systems and different institutions and universities as a gauge to make sure we was,
Yeah.
fucking algebra or some crazy
man.
shit.
Yeah, man.
Set up algebra, man, so he can assure himself them niggas still crazy. Because we don't,
Yeah.
first of all, we won't use algebra, man, in the day to day. But this intricate book right here, man, right? You have common men, we able to go into it, starting with the apostles and elders, man. And this is what Esau is losing sleep.
That's
Because
right.
they know this is the pinnacle. Not his algebra, not his history book. They know that this is it.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, go ahead.
It says, but now are they returned to their power
Mm-hmm.
and are come up from the place where they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem.
that?
Yeah, that's it.
See that? They'll come up from the place where they were scattered. Go ahead.
It says, and have possessed Jerusalem where their sanctuary is,
Mm-hmm.
and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their
And I
ruin.
forgot that guy name. He said, look, if he's counseling with a certain ruler, he said, look, if there be any error in his people, yeah, let's wage war against them. Because if it's an error in them, then their power is gonna leave them out there, right? Go ahead.
God, it says, they sin against their power. Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Right. So he's saying, look, let's consider this matter.
Mhm.
If it be, let's examine his people. If it be any error in them, then we can go to war against them and overtake them. Go ahead.
But
But
if there be no iniquity in their nation,
But if it be no iniquity in that nation, now that's heavy because you would say, well, hold up, there is iniquity, but within the nation of Israel, there's no iniquity. And that's dealing with the elect. Because in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shai, there's no iniquity, man. There's no guile in his elect. So this precept is alive and well now. This clause has just kicked in.
that's it.
So there's no iniquity found in Israel. See how it's a play on words? Because within Israel, which is the elect, there's no iniquity in them. See that? Go ahead.
It said, but if there be no iniquity in their nation,
See? Which is the elect. Within the nation of Israel, there's spirits with no iniquity. Go ahead.
let my Lord now pass by,
Yeah, you better consider and just pass by. Why? Well,
lest their Lord defend them.
lest their Lord, which is Yahweh Shema Shai, and particularly Yahweh Shai, because the Lord has set Yahweh Shai as the deliverer, man. Okay, read that again.
It said, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by.
That's why they was able to overcome us in the 50s and 60s. The apostles and none of the men were set up yet.
Yep, that's it.
Those spirits, when set up yet, had no iniquity. But now we here, man. So you try it now. Yeah, go ahead.
It says, but if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Yeah,
that's it.
But guess what? That's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's it.
That's gonna happen.
That's it.
Because when you read Wisdom of Solomon, these devils gonna get the nerve. See, these devils is curious. That's why you ever see the devils, they get mauled by a bear. They curious, man. They in the wood, they see some shit shaking behind the bush, and they want to check it out, man. So they're gonna do that. That's why you read Wisdom of Solomon. They say, well, let us try. Let's test. Guess what? The Lord gonna get you, man. And before all, you're gonna be destroyed. See that? So now let's go back to where we was at.
Ezekiel 35.
Mm-hmm.
This book of Ezekiel
Did you
35.
have some else?
Oh, no,
All right.
This Ezekiel 35 verse 5 again. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel
Mm-hmm.
by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end.
Yeah, so that's the time we in now. The Lord have inserted those spirits, you know, in Israel. Now that's it. Now I'm about to say Israel based upon the elect. Those spirits who, when you read St. John the 17th chapter, which that's a bad chapter, the Lord outlined that there are certain spirits where He's going to step in on behalf of the Israel, on behalf of. All right, go ahead.
Verse 6, it says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I'll prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood,
since I have not hated blood, the word hate again, go ahead.
Even blood shall pursue thee.
Even blood shall pursue thee, and that's the time we're in. And that blood symbolizes the judgment that the Lord has prepared. It's on your heels, Esau. Go ahead.
Verse 7, it says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passes out, and him that returneth. It says, and I will fill the mountains with his slain, and thy hills, and thy valleys, and thy rivers shall they fall, that are slain with the sword.
Yep, that is slain with the sword. And that's the judgment that's coming to Esau, man. You know, the Lord is going to fill you, going to fill the mountains and hills, these different governments, wherever you scatter, so-called white man, wherever you might be, even if it's in the clefts of the rocks, it's in the holes in the ground, and your space stations, the Lord is going to find you. And the scriptures say that too, the Lord's hand has found them out, all those that hate. Matter of fact, get that.
Okay.
You know what I want? Read that part again.
It's
powerful right there.
Verse 8, it says, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men, in thy hills, and in thy valleys, and all thy rivers shall they fall, that are slain with the sword.
Right, and that's dealing with the so-called white people, man. You know? All right, go ahead.
Continue on.
Oh, that was it on that? Give me Psalm 21.
That was it.
Psalm 21 and 8.
Yeah, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 21 and 8. He said, thy hand shall find out all thine enemies.
See, thine hand shall find out all thine enemies, and that's the time we're in. We're in the time now where the hand of the Lord is finding out his enemies, which we know Yahweh Shai is the hand, but we are that extension of Yahweh Shai. We represent Yahweh Shai, which when you go into a hand is a servant. So the Lord set us up to find out the enemy, man. That's why we opened up with the clip, man. You know? Read that again.
God. It said, thy hand shall find out all thy enemies.
So the Lord's service is going to find out all his enemies. Go ahead.
Thy right hand.
See, thy right hand, which is Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Shall find out all those that hate thee.
All those that what?
Hate thee.
And that proves the beauty of hate. Because by them hating us, you know, that cements who they are. See how the Lord put them in the quagmire, man? By you hating us so vehemently, it proves that you are our enemies, man. See? You got something? Give me Psalms, the 34th chapter real quick.
God, this song.
And you can give me Psalm 35. Start at like the 15th verse. Go ahead.
What you want to start? Start on this Psalm 34.
Start at like the 20th verse. See what it says.
All right. God, this Psalms 34 and 20. It said he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. Evil shall slay the wicked.
Yep, evil shall slay the wicked. That's the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And they that hate the righteous.
And they that what?
Hate the righteous.
And they that hate the righteous. That's the buzzword. So who hate the righteous? First of all, who is the righteous? That's Israel. Really, Israel as a whole would be the righteous in comparison to the wicked. You know? Because as a nation, we're a righteous nation. You know? We going off. It's like this. You can do wickedly, but you're not the wicked. The scriptures outlines the wicked. Amongst our people, they do wickedly, right? But there's the wicked, the source of wickedness. Go ahead.
It says, and they that hate the righteous shall be desolate.
Shall be desolate. And that's dealing with ultimately was the destruction that's coming. All right? So give me what you got.
It's the book of Psalms 35, verse 15. But in my adversities, they rejoice and gather themselves together. Yeah, the objects gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not. They did tear me and cease not.
Yeah.
with
Read that
hypocritical.
one more time.
It's like it's Psalms 35:15. But in my adversities, they rejoice and gather themselves together.
Mm-hmm.
Yet the abjects gathered themselves together against me,
Mm-hmm.
and I knew it not. They did tear me and cease not.
Mm-hmm.
With hypocritical
What
mockers.
verse you at?
Verse 16.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, with hypocritical mockers in feast, they gnash upon me with their teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Lord, how long wilt thou look on?
Right, yeah, so and that's the mentality we have. You know? Well, how long are these devils gonna continue to destroy us, right? As a people, and you look on because we understand now that the Lord is seeing this. See that? Go ahead.
It says, rescue my soul from their destruction,
Mm-hmm.
my darting from the lions.
Go ahead.
I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will
In the
praise
great
thee.
congregation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, I will
Bad
give,
right there, man. Go ahead.
it says, I will give thee thanks in the great congregation. I will praise thee among famous men.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I will praise thee among much people. It says, let not them that are my enemies
Let not them that are mine enemies. Go ahead.
wrongfully rejoice over me,
Uh-huh.
neither let them wink with their eye that hate me without a cause.
See, that hate me without a cause. See that? Go ahead.
For they speak not
What
peace.
verse you at?
20.
Read 19 again.
It says, let them that are my enemies, so like it says, let them that are my enemies wrongfully rejoice over me, neither let them wink with the eye that hate me without a cause.
See, that hate me without a cause, man. Proving that their hate is a testament against them. So that's a beautiful thing, man. And that's the mentality, that's the level you want to, get on, man. Understanding that hate is needed. Understanding that we need, these devils to show that hate, man. Because that contributes to us knowing who our enemies are. Right? See, you got something?
Yeah, this is Rock 27. I'm going to start at verse 28. It says, mockery and reproach are from the proud,
Mm-hmm.
but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them.
Mm-hmm.
They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare,
Mm-hmm.
and anguish shall consume them before they die.
Yeah, see that? So they rejoiced at our fall, man. That's another point that proves who they are. All right, so now let's get Psalms, the 44th chapter. Start at the 6th verse. We're going to read down to the 10th verse. We get ready to close. You got something?
Yes, Psalm. You said start at 6.
Yeah, go ahead. Start at 6.
Psalm 44 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
It says, for I would not trust in my bow,
Mm-hmm.
neither shall my sword save me.
Yeah, so we don't put our stock into weaponry. That's the blessing of the so-called white man. We solely put our trust into Yahweh Shah, man. Which Yahweh Shah is the deliverer.
Mm-hmm.
He was designed and created to deliver the nation of Israel, the elect of the nation of Israel. Right? So we don't trust in our bow.
Mm-hmm.
See? Go ahead.
It said, for thou hast saved us from our enemies.
See, that's dealing with Yahweh Shah. And this is speaking as past tense. Let's show you that the Lord already sanctioned this, man. The Lord said, thou hast saved us from our enemies. It's already written. There's nothing you devils can do, man. You're in the lab, you got these think tanks coming up with these sinister plans, these diabolical plans to somehow get rid of the children of Israel. But the Lord has already written, we're going to be saved, man. Right? Read that again. 7th verse.
It said, but thou hast saved us from our enemies.
Yep, go ahead.
And has put them to shame that hated us.
That hated us. See that? That word is emphasized. Right?
Yep.
So that's giving you the clue of who you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Continue.
It said, in the Most High, we boast all the day long.
And that's what we do.
That's it.
Collectively, as a group, all day long, the men in this great congregation, that's all we do is boast in the Lord, man. And whenever you say, give me another precept, that's boasting in the Lord. We exalt in the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right? Go ahead.
It said, in the Most High, we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Salah. But thou hast cast off and put us to shame.
Yeah, and that happened. The Lord cast us off and put us to shame, right? But continue.
and goest not forth with our armies,
Uh-huh.
thou makest us to turn back from the enemy,
Mhm.
and they which hate us,
See? And they which what?
Uh-huh. Spoil for themselves.
So, and that's the point, though, because the scriptures is constantly
Mhm.
emphasizing the characteristic of our enemy is going to be centered around hate, you know. And like we opened up with the opening clip with, the spectacular lynching of Claude Neal, which, she said that word spectacular shouldn't be in the same, but really it should, because spectacular means to see, So right now we're in a time where we see, the hatred of the so-called white man. Again, when you read Genesis the 27th chapter, and Esau hated Jacob.
Yep.
This is the time where that hatred is being manifest and is being put on display for everybody to see, for us to see, and for us to consider, man. So really, hatred is a beautiful thing, man.
That's it.
And on the flip side, that hatred is not going to go away. That's what everybody wants, man.
Okay.
Get rid of hatred. No, hatred is going to be intensified when we get in the kingdom.
That's it.
All right? And real quick, I guess we can close on that. I think that Psalms, I think it's 139 and 21.
Yeah.
You got something? So that's the beauty of this thing. That's why we're going to be justified, and we justified to this very moment, this very day, in hating you devils, man. Okay? Give me that, I think it's Amos. Is that Amos 5?
What's that? Hit the
Uh-huh.
5:15.
Yep, hold that on there.
God, this you want to go and get?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. You know what? Let's get this first.
Come.
Amos 5:15.
This is the book of Amos 5 and verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
It says, hate the evil and love the good.
Right. So this is a commandment. The Lord told us to hate the evil and love the good. Go ahead.
And establish judgment in the gate.
And that's what you're witnessing. We establishing judgment. To establish judgment is to say, you know what? These devils offended greatly, but you know what? It's going to be a recompense. That's establishing judgment. That's what happened in a court of law. You establish judgment. Oh, you went off. Well, you know what? This is the judgment. Right? Go ahead.
It says, it may be that the Lord power of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph.
So the Lord said, look, if you do hate the evil, I just might be merciful to you.
Yeah.
So that cuts that idea of not hating, man. Right? So now give me this.
God, this Psalm 139:21.
Mm-hmm.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee?
See, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. And when you read again Psalm the 83rd chapter, it outlines the enemies of Israel. And at the head of that list is Esau.
Mm-hmm.
So they hate the Most High, man. All right? So we hate them. Go ahead, read that again.
Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee?
Mm-hmm.
And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee?
So yeah, we're going to be justified in this hate that we have, man. You know? And we've been justified to this day. I don't give a damn what the world and their view of us is. Man, you should not hate, love one another. You know? But guess what? According to the scriptures, we're in the right spirit. We're on par and we're in harmony with the will of Yahweh Shah by showing hate. And guess what? The so-called white man and his hate showed toward us should be received as a beautiful thing. Why? Because it proves that he is our enemy, man.
Mm-hmm.
See that? So you got more of him?
Verse 22, it says, I hate them with perfect hatred.
With what?
With perfect hatred.
And with what?
I hate them with perfect
If
hatred.
we were to present that to some Kirk Franklin, you know what I mean, some nigga, man, they'd have said, what are you reading? No. Well, the scriptures not only encourage us to hate you devils, but to have a perfect hatred.
Yep.
All right? That's a special hatred.
Mm-hmm.
See that? So hatred is a beautiful thing, man. Because why? It pretty much outlines and highlights and spotlights this whole idea of Jacob and Esau.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That friction and hatred proves that the scriptures are spot on and on point in relation to, Israel having enemies, and that arch enemy being the nation of Edom. All right? So, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, you brothers out there laboring in his work. And as always, the believers, the Akim and the Aqua that subscribe is the truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, above the ball.